The November elections are approaching rapidly, and the current candidates will assure a tragedy. The summer air cools to fall while Trump is set on building his wall. They bicker and fight all day long, even though the majority of them are wrong. The election is coming to its finale deeply within a hidden valley. A great debate is set to take form, and a part of society will become torn. At an undisclosed, very secret location, the leaders will fight for power over our great nation. The evil and corrupt versus the psychotic and crazy, and one of them is less than a lady. A battle so ferocious and unprecedented that it will undeniably be nationally documented. In a land so vastly cold, this debate will unfold. Candidates must travel to the very east to decide a winner at the very least. In a creaky barn, our debate takes place, where every candidate must bring their poker face. They all will fight like cats and dogs, and some of them, they look like frogs. The goal is to be the best. There is no need for any rest. The White House awaits its new resident to take the role as the United States President. This whole election has turned out to be a disaster. Everyone goes to church to pray with their pastor. During the debates, we fill the stands, and we all know Trump has really big hands. We all cope with our comic relief and hope for a sane commander-in-chief. The candidates fight with many false facts. Everyone puts on quite good acts. This campaign season will be quite the tale, but may require some people to delete emails. From Washington to Lincoln, to Kennedy to Reagan, these 2016 candidates must be playing. Ben Carson does work on the brain, while Bernie Sanders walks with a cane. This election is heating up rather quickly, but not as hot as the former Clinton and Lewinsky. Trump is known to dig coal, while Clinton says to Pokemon go to the polls. Oh, and we can't forget about Ted Cruz, because whenever he talks, the audience wants to snooze. Although he has gained a reputation the size of a pillar as being the infamous Zodiac Killer, the only thing Jeb Bush ever did was try not to ruin his presidential bid. This did not work, as his brother came before, and he ruined everything when he declared war. To be president was his only dream, but the fact is, jet fuel can't melt steel beams. Hillary thinks she's the Holy Grail, even though she should be in jail. Sometimes it seems as the candidates are sharpening their knives, while Hillary Clinton is causing people to lose their lives. We set our scene in the middle of the woods as we try to avoid the deadly hoods. The unworthy candidates will fight tooth and nail, while the entire country is ready to bail. They will arrive in the middle of the night and begin their debate in the morning light. Trump is rich, sitting on his yacht, while Bernie Sanders tries to legalize pot. He also tries to give everything out for free, when really he should get a replacement of his knee. Bernie tries to give free college tuition, but Hillary couldn't organize a rescue mission. Hillary Clinton talks quite crisp, while Ben Carson has a lisp. He still, however, is very smart, while Donald Trump doesn't have a heart. China, 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 China. The only state Trump will win is North Carolina. The illegal aliens he will deport, while Hillary Clinton sits in court. We have just received word that our first candidate has arrived. Meanwhile, Bernie Sanders had to be revived. We are very certain that the rest will follow as we prepare to hear from those whose heads are hollow. The crowd of people begin to fill in. Many wear hats at state, make America great again. Security guards are ready to throw anyone out who goes up to the candidates and does more than shouts. The seats are full as people watch with their eyes. Those who couldn't make it, make sure it's televised. The stage is set, and each candidate takes their podium. Before he took the stage, Bernie took some Imodium. They stare at each other. It's very intense. They all look confident. It doesn't make any sense. As we begin to see how this goes, you'll realize the candidates will have to stay on their toes. Insults will be thrown left and right. We hope that no one gets in a fight. The debate is starting. The show's about to begin. So everyone open your ears and let's listen in.
Hello all, I'm Bill Clinton. I was the third youngest president to take up office. I caught more votes than wide receiver Mike Wallace. During my first term, I enacted legislation trying to better our great nation. During my second term, I was impeached. I did not have sexual relations, was my speech. I tried not to get kicked out of my job. But what I did was almost create a whole mob. I appointed many women and minorities while I was trying to fight off authorities. In 2008, Hillary ran against Obama, and what that did would cause lots of drama. All must have thought he was so great, because what he did was appoint her secretary to the state. That wouldn't have been my decision, but I guess appointing a criminal as secretary was his wonderful vision. Jumping and ducking under her lies, she isn't that great, even in America's eyes. They look at her as the lesser of two evils. That's because Trump wants to send home the illegals. Hundreds of emails she had deleted. Worse for her, I had secretly cheated. The media tends to make a big mess, but not as big as the one on the blue dress. I will still, however, endorse my wife, mainly because I fear for my life.
As you all know, I'm the only woman in this race, and the rest of the candidates are quite the disgrace. I then entered Yale Law School, where I made myself look like a fool. But it was at this school where I met my first true love, and I was that type of woman that he would get sick of. In 1992, I became First Lady, while my husband was being a little shady. I always thought I was smarter than Bill. He just became president to have a good bill. While in office, Bill did as much as he could handle, but the only thing he couldn't hold was the Lewinsky scandal. The news spread as the lies grew, and all they could find was a dress that is blue. In 2008, I ran against Obama. I'm glad that he won, even though he looks like a llama. But President Obama appointed me as Secretary of State, and it was a great big role that I was trying to deliver great. The attack on Benghazi was surely an American fail, but the people blame me for deleting my email. My time as secretary was going to be short, while the American people wanted me in court. Trump thinks he can say anything about women, and he has no respect, but little does he know he's soon gonna get decked.
I started at the bottom with the help of my father. He started my business with a small loan of $1 million. I have friends all over the world, in places high and low. I love them all, except for Mexico. Clinton is too old for this. She's getting too frail. We know we definitely can't trust her with her own email. Ted Cruz is no worry. His rhymes are whack. Just wait until the cops get him for being the Zodiac. The Democrats are done. It's time for Republicans. Let's build a wall, and built by Mexicans. Hillary can't do anything, but I can't even hit her, so all she does is fight with her thumbs on Twitter. What is global warming? I don't think it's real. It's all just a bunch of scientists on a very big spiel. Recent news has come alight of things that I said before. I take it all back, especially about grabbing women's back door. Let's cut all the chat and get back to important details, but not stuff like Hillary or really any females. My hands might be small, but not my president's plans. Safety, security, and protection, especially against Afghans. I promise to be great and be a president to remember, so please go and vote for me this winter month of November. Ted Cruz is the name, presidency is what I want, politics is my game, and this I'm quite a support. People are wrong about me, especially those on Twitter. I have not killed anyone, and especially no Zodiac killer. I can't stand Donald Trump. He's a corrupt and dirty businessman. I can't tell the difference between him and this garbage can. Gonna get me started on Hillary. It'll be more than you can handle. Where should I even start? First, second, or third scandal? I can't even take her. She's the absolute worst. She'll suck in office, and for a Clinton it wouldn't be the first. Bernie can't match me. He can't keep up. He's too old. He's walking even slower from earlier what he rolled. Ted is on a mission. Presidency is my goal. My campaign's going so well, you think I'm on cruise control. This country will be great again, but not with a comb over, or at the hands of corruption, just like the Benghazi flyover. Donald and Hillary are major trouble, and will ruin this country, and Bernie will just die, if I have to say it bluntly. Killing rhymes left and right, all over the soundtrack. I'm so good at it, you might as well call me the Zodiac.
Americans. As you can see, we're starting the political debate for the presidential candidacy. None of these candidates can match me, my charm and my style. I've perfected over these 8 years, but this White House looks like a trash pile. I don't care if I offend, my time's almost up. After this I'll be set for life. I don't need no backup. Everyone knows I'm a great guy too. They don't want to see me go. They've gotten used to me, and they really like Joe. The first black president, I made a statement. I did better than most before me. That's no understatement. Hillary's our best choice. Trump will only ruin. If you voters are smart, she's basically a shoo-in. It's been 8 years. I've been through a lot. The experience I've gained, which can't be taught. As most of you know, I'm the first black president. I brought culture to the White House. As its new resident. 2008, I ran against McCain. He stood no chance. Call me Chocolate Rain. In 2012, Romney tried to take me down. Haven't they figured out? I'm the captain now. Michelle's the illest first, the best lady you want and need. She runs this country, and she does always succeed. Her meal plans help the country. They keep us fit and fast. So fast, she can argue with Donald, put him on blast. I've been the realest since day one. These rise can't be beat. No one can touch me, son.
The name is Bernie, also known as Bernard. The last is Sanders. After this beat, you'll be charred. The smile, the glasses, the eyes and the hair. I'm a man of much fashion. I'd be a president with flair. It didn't take long for my album to overturn. My mixtape is so hot, you'll be feeling the burn. You don't want to miss this worldwide roast. Everyone's gonna get some, these candidates the most. It's ridiculous that they think they stand a chance against the one and only Bernie, a man with a stance. For the people of America and what they really want. Free education and the right to roll a blunt. The last Republican in office, he had little support. Oh wait, he was a Bush, that's not out of sorts. Jeff, you actually expect a presidential run after your brother tragically failed in 2001? Jeb, you just got grilled. You got no time to react. Oh, look who's next. We got the Zodiac. Ted Cruz follows the ideology of all Republicans. Raise the taxes and put guns in people's hands. See, your expression hasn't changed. Maybe I'll come back. But in my opinion, it's smart to stay away from the Zodiac. Bernie's on track, killing candidates like natural selection. I'm the one America needs, so vote for me in this election. The name is Jeb Bush, Senator of Florida. I'm running for presidency. I mean, kinda, sorta. I've refrained from having scandals. I ain't like these other candidate snobs. I'm not a typical Bush. This ain't no inside job. The war was a mistake. We all know it to be true. There were no weapons of mass destruction. Right now, changing subjects is my cue. But I will not waver. I will succeed. My cabinet will take over the White House like a stampede. Since one fateful day, we've been facing many problems. And I don't believe that any of these other people but me can solve them. More than the generals Trump knows about ISIS. If he becomes president, the war will become a dang crisis. He's not the only one who's unqualified. Let's look at the other candidates and we'll carefully analyze. We look at Ben Carson. He's not a bad guy. But graduating from Yale doesn't mean that you qualify. We look at Bernie Sanders. His plans come with lack. The math doesn't add up and his beats are whack. We look at Ted Cruz. He wants the country on his back. I can't believe that he hasn't been convicted as the Zodiac. We should just skip over Hillary. I don't know why Bill's here. Between the both of them, the amount of scandals are on another tier. They're corrupt people who cannot be trusted. If the emails wouldn't have been deleted, she would have been busted. These last 8 years have been a difficult span. Let's get rid of the Democrats. We need a Republican. This speech is over. I hope you didn't take a nap. So everyone stand up and please clap.
name's Ben Carson. I'm a brain surgeon, hands steady. In this election, I'll be ready. Obama served 2 terms, he made a comeback, and I'll for sure do the same, not just because I'm black. I'll be the second, he was the first, to attend the White House. Anyone else would be the worst. I'm smart, I'm a man, I'm the real G. For good presidency, I'm the ultimate key. I graduated from Yale, Carson is the name. Not many can compare, brain surgery is the game. Especially not Trump, this isn't even fair. My knowledge is unmatched, the others know it. They can't keep up, I've got too much wit. No one messes with me, I'm way too nice. As you can see, the others took my advice. They wouldn't get far if they tried to diss. I'm invincible, all they do is miss. My rhymes are tight, like my faith. I'll die a Christian, I don't want no wraiths. When November comes, I'm taking home the gold. No one is stopping me, young or old. I'm winning this election, I'm following in Obama's step. He's the first black president, there was no missteps. Loss isn't an option, it's the only route. You'll see me at the election. Carson out.
Me, boys, I like it.